Underdog Daily with the Match Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out. Black and Yellow Dog app platform of the people, and we got no better way to kick off a 12-game slate and a show than a hoops to start here. We got cover boy Giannis with the downgrade to the probable tag. It is an official downgrade because they had already submitted an official injury report. Nez, there's no better way to play hoops on the platform than when we bounce from Q's to D's to P's and bounce around. Here we go.
Is it too early to start? It's too late to ask.
I rolled 55 straight 101s last night and took Giannis with all of them. I'm down bad, my friend.
Oh my God, dude. So annoying. Drafting with Buster's boys last night, going head to head. We're duking it out. And he's taking Wemby 101. I'm like, this fucking moron. Like, it's Giannis against the Wizards, dude. What are you doing? Get into another lobby. Dude takes Bobby Portis. What does he know? What is he? That's a joke. He did not take.
Boyce has 100% Wemby right now, and he's got 65% Bobby Portis in the 6th round.
He did not take Bobby Portis, to be clear, but he was taking Wemby.
Oh my God, man, this is awesome. This is good, clean fun. Love a good start to this. We've talked about the Giannis P tag in the past here, guys. Most of you guys will be familiar with this. Yeah, I don't know. I think about Lakers era probable tags there with both AD and LeBron, and they would do like one gets the P and one gets the Q, and then they bounce back and forth. It is a little strange to just randomly get a probable tag here. But yeah, we'll talk through it all. 12 games to choose from here. We got some, 4 of like the 236, 235 total variety. We got a couple potential blowout spots. Man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back in the saddle. You and I were talking behind closed doors here, Nez. We were talking whether we would do hoops today, whether we would do football. Yeah, I think just given the fact that it's opening week, it's a Hump Day Hoops. There's 12 games on it, and there's $200K up for grabs across 5 different contests on the site tonight, that it just feels right to do our bread and butter, do the hoops guys thing today. Also noted that Davis was going live for the football stuff here. So if people wanted to watch football adjacent content, he was covering that. Tomorrow, we're going to do paywall, guys. Make good on all those memberships. Shout out to Awin. See him in the chat there. Shout out to David, I saw earlier, who all dropped off memberships this week for the community. That'll be Primetime Palooza and a little bit of hoops and maybe touch on the main slate ever so slightly. And then we'll do the flagship show with Pete on Friday there for Off and On the Clock. And that will kind of be definitive preview plus the scrolls all in like a huge hybrid of a show there.
Yep. Yeah, that is the plan. Had to do hoops today, man. It's basically a holiday. 125K in prizes in the main slate. I mean, it's a sight to see, man. It's we're just impossibly back.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Clay alluding to it. The redacted channel is so possibly back right here. I love the trolling going on in the chat. Just got Giannis at 10. Just got 4th round Giannis. Just got Giannis and Wemby combos. Like I just saw
Giannis go undrafted. I just finished the draft.
I love it so much. Nez, before we fully dive into tonight's slate, I think we got to take a step back and look at last night. Last night was a pretty cool slate just in general there. We get a double OT game in the first bit there. I watched a good portion of the OKC and Rockets game before going to play some puck in the evening. Did not see any of the Luka extravaganza that was the evening game there. Almost a triple-double, 40 points, 42 points, something like that. And you didn't have to have them just based on how the combos lined up on with the 101 last night. I got 120 in the main there. I had a little bit of a losing night. Was really proud of my exposures, though. Just couldn't get the combos, which is kind of going to be evergreen on 2 gamers. But Jay Witz, man, normally a baseball guy, laps the field here. It's rare on a it's very rare. I mean, obviously there's 25,000 entries in this contest, but it's very rare to see a winner that is 10 points clear of the field here. He gets a very coveted start with the SGA, Sengun, and Jimmy Buckets there, who played very well last night. And then Draymond, like we talked about him as a little bit of a floor play. And then Kuminga was like one of my highest exposed. Got really proud I got on to that, anticipating the starting lineup there. And then Cason Wallace in the last round. Cason Wallace did effing everything last night. I thought he looked fantastic out there. Obviously, overtime aiding some of this, and the fact that he was like staying on the court, and the fact that they played small in the second half and they started Caruso and Wallace alongside each other. But yeah, just shout out to Jay Witz here.
Yeah, it's a hell of a team. Hell of a team. Man, the double OT was so tilting. Really thought the Rockets were going to come away with that. Really liked them in that game. Yeah, and the SGA 101 bros, get there in theory, which is just so dumb. But yeah, shout out to Jay Witz, man. Excited to play a real slate here with 6 people in the lobbies.
Yeah, damn right. Let's get after it, Nez. Ask you the evergreen question: how many have you done? Have you been in the lobbies a bunch here? Where are you at in your process there?
I am at, it looks like 70 total. That includes the layup line. So I'm at 29 main, 29 Hump Day Hoops. I did my buzzer beaters and I did my crossovers. So just doing the main contest from here on out.
Right on. Perfect stuff there. Obviously, stylistically speaking, this slate is considerably different than last night's slate. I think it's good to just kind of like reset some of the macros for everybody because, we did a little bit yesterday, but just in terms of depth of scroll options and available player pool, it gets so much more expanded. Like we were really scratching and clawing to say, AJ Mitchell and Steven Adams last night, stuff like that. On a 12 gamer like this, there are good, strong, viable plays at the back end. Obviously, the scrollability in basketball is not as fruitful, let's say, as in NFL. We maybe won't get down to player 50 in the player pool there. But yeah, we want to be stacking combos at the front end of players we like and pushing and pulling, planning out our fades. But then the back end of the contest here, I don't know. How deep do you think your player pool is going to go tonight? Nez, 40, 42, something like that?
Yeah, it's going to be deep. Not that like I'll be getting down into those depths often because obviously it's difficult to over the course of 150 lineups. But I am going to have a pretty large player pool, like when it's all said and done. Just because like the 6th round is just so flat, right? It's flat forever, right. And so I want to take a couple stabs here and there of some low-owned guys. And, as I just said, there's a lot of them.
Right on, yeah. And, like, as Nez is saying there, like, it doesn't necessarily mean, getting down to, I mean, Miles Turner, Alex Sarr, some of these guys, like, if someone shows up with Desmond Bane, absolutely. If someone plays the other side of the Boston narrative and they think JB is going to be out and they play Pritchard or something, I wouldn't kill you for it, but it's not going to be like a large portion of our portfolio. But there are very fun, clickable names back here that you can see ceiling outcomes from. Yeah,
for sure. Just the fact that you're going to have ownership disparities that are so large for projections that are not, it just makes sense to kind of diversify in that 6th round.
Absolutely, man. We got a couple new members joining up here. Rocket Sauce joins up. And Embiid, is it the signs? The signs right here with the Embiid. Who knows? The signs. But dropping off 10 Badge Bros memberships from a screen name I'm unfamiliar with. So mad respect. Thank you so much. That's great.
Uzen.
Oh, is it Uzen?
Yeah. He just said.
Oh, perfect. Right on. There we go. Uzen, thank you so much. Uzen took down a dog bowl seat earlier this week. Actually, while we're congratulating people that I forgot to congratulate, Magikarp dropped off some memberships yesterday when Fam was on the show. Magikarp won on stream that DeBomb draft that we did for the Primetime Palooza. His was the winning team that night. So the draft that we battled him for Woody Marks with, Magikarp took it down. So shout out to him as well. But yeah, this is where my mind went, was that this is Chip's new username. That's literally how sick we are. Is
That's
that
what I
we were
thought
all
too.
thinking the same thing. But it's okay, there we go. It's Use It. Thank you so much, man. Welcome to the Dog Bowl. A shame you couldn't roll through for Winter Circle there on Monday, but look forward to hanging out in Kansas City and appreciate the 10 memberships. Mad love and respect. We will make good on them tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be members only. All right, Nez. Anything else you want to say, high level, macro on the slate, like just in general? Or can we kind of go game by game and push through with the injury report and that sort of deal?
Yeah, so we off the rip talked about Giannis being downgraded to probable. There's just like if it wasn't the history with Giannis and these downgrades to probables, we wouldn't be calling attention to it. But
sure,
just kind of have to keep the win horse up. The one thing that we got is Karl-Anthony Towns downgraded to doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
And then this dude, Stefan Bondi, he covers the Knicks for the New York Post.
Okay.
Is not considered to be 100% accurate in his reporting.
Okay.
But he is reporting that Cat is expected to play, despite being listed as doubtful.
What in the world?
Yeah, so I'll post the link to the tweet in the chat.
Okay.
So I don't think you should draft Karl-Anthony Towns if he has the D tag, because you're going to get that message on the Dog app that says this player will not swap if you draft this player. So I don't think it's worth it because it's a huge slate. You just don't need to take that risk for Karl-Anthony Towns. He's not a guaranteed smash if he plays.
Right.
So I'm just putting that info out there. So be on the lookout.
Yeah, JCam nailing it. We're so back with like just this kind of shit. I might have misspoke, Nez. I have the old injury report up right now. I see Washington has submitted and Milwaukee had never submitted. So technically speaking, it's not a downgrade. I thought I saw a Milwaukee report earlier. Technically, it's a first listing of probable, if that changes anything for you mentally.
Didn't they list like last night? Didn't we kind of get like a first batch last night or no?
We got a first batch from like the vast majority of teams. This is the 12:30 previous one, and Milwaukee isn't even on it. It's literally just the Wizards. So this is the classic fake midday downgrade that is actually them just holding their cards closer to their vest later in the day.
All right, then.
Yeah. Guys, we talked through it in the past and stuff like that, but you just read the top. There is only one place on planet Earth where you should ever consider, you could speculate and you can look at the stuff that Nez was showing there in the chat and whatever, but only official resource is this right here. I'll drop it in the chat for you guys there. And basically just the second night of back-to-backs is local teams have to 1 p.m. local time. So you need that, or 5 p.m. local time the day before a game. Just read through it, familiarize yourself with it, because we're going to be clicking on it a lot. So I'll pull the updated version here just so you guys could see the difference. And Milwaukee's still not on it. So there's that. Interesting. Okay. We'll get to the bottom of this Giannis P tag in the future. Nez, let's do this. Let's go game by game. We're going to be able to gnaw wave some of these games. We're going to be able to gnaw wave some of these teams in general. We're going to be able to just say like, no, that's way too deep for our player pool, or that's who we don't want to get exposed to, that sort of thing, because the band of players that we work with, even though it's a 12-game slate, it's still so much smaller than the redacted side of things there. We're basically only dealing with superstars, right? And that's how it is. First game on the slate, Nez, we got the unabated total of 228.5. Cavs are 1.5 point favorites. Let's see how that one has kind of bounced around. 2.5, 1.5, 3. Interesting. So it's kind of going in the other direction than you would have thought it to be going based on the Karl Anthony Towns news. Most recent injury report status here is Darius Garland is out. DeAndre Hunter's questionable. Max Strus is out. OG Anunoby has a probable tag. Josh Hart is out. Mitchell Robinson is out. And Karl Anthony Towns is officially listed as doubtful on here. So I think people's knee-jerk reaction is going to be to let them know a little bit here by jamming some Donovan Mitchell because of the Garland stuff, and to slam up a little bit of Jalen Brunson there. Basically, three Cavs are always in play, and 2 or 3 Knicks are always in play on these kind of slates. How are you treating it here? Do you want to get deeper than that?
Not really. No, yeah. I think, just like from a macro standpoint, it feels like this if this slate was smaller, maybe we would be looking at like Mikal Bridges as like somebody that could benefit from all these absences on the Knicks. OG's banged up, no Josh Hart. We're anticipating no Cat. You would think Mikal would step up, but that would, that would be a bad assumption to make from Mikal on any given night. But I like Brunson a lot, just from, a ceiling standpoint here. Obviously going to have a ton of usage going his way. He's going to play, even though, RIP Tibbs should still be playing a ton of minutes, I would assume, given the current state of the Knicks.
And we joke about Mike Brown just being Tibbs West Coast back in the day when he was with Sacramento, and now he's there. Like we're not anticipating that. They're definitely deeper this year, and there's definitely ability to expand the rotation. But night one, nationally televised with Cat out, doesn't really, and Hart out, feels like a spot where you just jam Brunson like 36-38 in a competitive game environment.
Yeah, and that's fully what I expect. So I think Brunson's a good pick. I love Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs here. He's like being paired at the 1-2 turn often. I think he's just a great pick right now. In this current state, first off, this is like potentially, Eastern Conference Finals here with these two teams, because given like the Eastern Conference is just like a bit of a joke right now. Like we'll see how the Sixers come together toward the end of the year, and how the Hawks turn out, but these two are what should be the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and they're both really banged up right now. So the problem with Donovan Mitchell and last year was like they were always dog walking teams, and they were super deep. Like they were able to just like rotate guys in. Garland could take some weight off his plate. Ty Jerome could take some work off of him. Those two are not going to be here tonight. DeAndre Hunter isn't going to play, it sounds like, or that was what I'd heard recently, at least. So yeah, I just think you're going to see a lot of Donovan Mitchell here, which like is great. When we get a lot of Donovan Mitchell, we tend to get good fantasy outputs. So I'm excited for him and Mobley the most here. Jared Allen probably like scrollable for sure, but I won't have more than a couple shares of that.
Okay, if you were going to scroll in the last round to Jared Allen, OG, or Bridges, which of the three would you scroll to?
Oh, I mean, Jared Allen.
Okay, sounds good. Just some macro things to put on people's radar, because we're going to be dealing with, shallower slates in the future and whatever. I think it's good because we don't have definitive rotations and stuff. We just have dress rehearsal stuff to work off of and that stuff. But just some things to put on people's radars. I'm very interested to see what Lonzo Ball's minutes look like and what he looks like on a new team. Is there some discrepancy in the handling role if he starts this evening for Donovan Mitchell? Like that's just one that's on my radar right now. Nothing really outside of that is overly interesting in Cleveland, other than to see if they just use him in the Garland role and they do like the overlapping of like Ball plus Allen and Mobley plus Mitchell and the way they pair. Not relevant to our slate, but just something I'll be watching this evening. And then on the Knicks side, just intrigued to see what they do at the 5 if Cat doesn't go tonight. Like, do you play Yabu at the 5? I saw some jokes in the chat about Trey Jameson, like stuff like that. I'm just intrigued to see what happens for them from a starting lineup standpoint if Cat is unable to go this evening. Like, do they try and play small. I don't think you want to start small against the Cavs with Mobley and Allen in there, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm very interested to see what that lineup looks like.
Yeah, it will be
Yeah.
interesting. It does sound like it's going to be Huck Porty, which is as bad as it sounds.
Nice. Next, let's move on to the next one. We got a slop it up fest. We got a dumpster fire game here. Very similar total. Oh, exact same total as the previous game there with a 228.5. Hornets are 5-point favorites at home. I don't think I've ever said that before on the program. Incredible stuff here. But Nets are going to be a very interesting team here. Nobody's getting drafted outside of maybe Cam Thomas in the last round there. Are you interested in playing some Claxton? Igor didn't play a ton. Igor Demon didn't play a ton in the ton in terms of minutes in the preseason, but he played well in when he did. He became a darling of the back end of best ball drafts at the end there. Let's start on the Nets side. Can you draft anybody today? Do you want to draft anybody today?
I do think Porter and Cam Thomas are like draftable.
Okay.
They're just like the guys there for how you know what, John? This is like a full solar eclipse.
How so?
Because when you type in Nets, you get both Brooklyn Nets and Charlotte Hornets in one matchup. Like this never happens. This is hilarious. I don't think this has ever. Have these two ever played? That's a joke, but like that's incredible. These two are like the offense here for Brooklyn. They both should just be getting shots up like crazy, especially against Charlotte, who they're not like a strong defensive team in my eyes. So they are scrollable. I think there's ceiling potential from both these guys. Not somebody that you needed to be drafting every single time, either of these, but they definitely have ceiling. They can definitely find their way into 6 rounds.
Just to hit a reset button here, Hayward Highsmith is the only guy out for this one for the Nets there. He's moved over from Miami to Brooklyn here. So there's that one. But yeah, I'm in lockstep with you there, Nez. Like, I'm excited to see what Igor could potentially look like and what kind of role they give him and how many minutes. But if you're playing anyone other than these two and, maybe Claxton because of the perceived stock ceiling there, I don't know that he ever plays enough minutes for us to fully matter on a 12 gamer. But we like to chase big men and stock potential here. But yeah, I'm in agreement with you, man. If I had to choose between Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thomas, I'd take the ownership discount on Cam Thomas and just his ability to fill it up and handle, opposed to, just Michael Porter Jr. being camped out in the corner, that sort of deal.
Yeah. It is going to be, interesting to see what Michael Porter's role looks like here. Cause I think by many accounts, he was like a Jokic merchant, but like, I don't know, man. What if there's no rules with this Brooklyn Nets team, dude. They have no real goals, I don't think, this season, other than to like develop guys and let Michael Porter build some trade value up, I think. So I don't know, man. He might cook. He might cook. You never know. But I definitely have more faith in Cam Thomas.
Sounds good. I won't draft Cam Thomas because he's a dork. Curated's rolling through saying the Michael Porter hires looking nice in the lobbies. Okay, maybe we'll take a pick in there. No, we answered both your questions. If you just roll the tape back, my friend, we literally addressed both of those. Let's talk about the Hornets side here. Still no Grant Williams there and Josh Green. Potentially rotation pieces in the future, but not anything that we would be playing or overly excited about. On our site, the primary pieces here will just be Melo and then Bridges or Brandon Miller in the last round there. I'm excited to see what this team could look like with Knipple and just seeing what he looks like out there with them. Also excited to see who they start at the 5. Cockbrenner or whatever, or Diabetes. Those are the two. Those are the two there. I've always been a Diabates guy out here. So I kind of hope they start him and just see what they have. And like, he had some ceiling games last year after Mark Williams left, but none of it overly playable on our site. It's kind of just Mello, Bridges, and Miller, right?
Yeah, and like I think Bridges is not a good pick.
Okay.
At his ADP, and Melo's overdrafted too. But Melo has a ceiling, so like, yeah, he's overdrafted. I just don't think you want to have like 0 of him, and he's been falling too. I think you're seeing a pretty strong correction on his ADP. So, yeah, if he falls, he's total like where he's like I've gotten him 1-2 turn or 2-3 turn a few times.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm good with it at 2-3 turn for sure. There, he definitely has a ceiling. Yeah, I mean, I like playing Mello when he's healthy, Mello, and I like playing Mello in soft matchups because he's just one of those guys who like seems to turn it up and eat in these bad ones and then goes away, and it's full hyperbole and it's full just like how I view him and having watched him. But admittedly, Nez, I don't really want to watch this basketball game tonight. So I think I'd rather pull up Jalen Brunson over this tier of the Mello and Jaw stuff.
And your boy Jaw.
Yeah, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But like that tier of Mello and Jaw are beside each other effectively in terms of ADP right now. And I was kind of
pulling up. Little bit of space.
Okay. Little bit of space. Yeah, Emwald, if that was full bid equity, man, I'm better than that. Come on. That's full bid equity.
I mean, his name literally is Knipple.
That's true. The next one up here, Nez, we got the Heat and we got the Magic. A 215.5 here, 9 by way of the Magic at home. Battle of Florida. There we got some interesting stuff going down here. No Tyler Hero in this one, but we get Terry Rozier and we get the fake Nikolai Jovic out here. And then we got a Q tag on Khalil Ware. So some instant impact on Never Bam potentially here. Jalen Suggs had a Q tag, but now has been listed as available. And Mo Wagner is going to miss the beginning of the season here with recovering from the ACL from last year. ACL, right? I think it was ACL from last year when he missed the tail end there. So Magic are almost full here, and the Heat are not, Nez. So does this make you want to get to some Bam? It is the lowest total on the slate. It's probably not going to have much pace to it. This is a new look Magic team where, 2 pieces get drafted every single time. And then there's also Desmond Bane as a potential scroll option there. Yeah, just thoughts on this game and any of the plays within it.
Bam, I think, has a very fair ADP of 24, given the fact that the Heat are decimated. But man, you know my fucking feelings on Bam Adebayo. Like that. This is like one of the worst spots for Bam. On top of it all, now what's weird is like in years past, I feel like you would see. Or last year, you would see this total be like 205. They're given this Magic Heat game into the 210s. Like usually, like Magic games, especially against a bad Heat team, would be like sub 210. So like, I think that's more of a boost to the Magic players than the Heat. But I find that to be a little interesting. Yeah, dude, I don't want to draft Bam, but Bam is totally fine at ADP. Like it's totally fine.
Evergreen reminder for everybody why never Bam around here is because Bam will always project well in spots like this when he's the only show in town, and he's an absolute stone cold lock for 32 fantasy points. And if you need 60 fantasy points on a 12-game slate, he's going to give you 32. If you need 35 fantasy points on a 3-game slate, he's going to give you 32. So it's just a classic mean projection one for us. Nez, everybody in the chat right now is talking oops again. Here we have the snip snap on Karl Anthony Towns. Your report that you were citing earlier there that Fam put in the Discord is correct. We now have the snip snap on Karl Anthony Towns. Now he is questionable. and unabated has boosted his projectable likelihood to play from 40% or from 45% to 55%. So this we think it's opening night and we think there's no injuries, and yet here we are. So yeah, I obviously that's going to toggle. If you guys are using the conditional projections when they come out here, it's going to toggle the in out of Cat plus Brunson. Brunson is either going to be like the 8th or 9th ranked player on the slate, or they're both going to be in like the 15s kind of thing. But right now on our site, they are considerably wider apart than that. Let's take a look at it real quick and just reset for everyone. Yeah, we got that D tag at 20 and Brunson at 14, which is, probably fair-ish. They're probably both going to project better than that if we knew they were both in. And if one was out and the other was in, the other's going to project considerably better than that. So, yeah, just kind of playing a little bit of chicken with that right now.
Yeah, what a nightmare. So annoying. But, yeah, shout out to everybody who was taking Jalen Brunson in the top 10. Godspeed.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it could still work out this evening, but yeah. It's just classic hoops dynamic where it feels like BBM in a 5-minute window where it was like, holy shit, we're here's the comp, Nez. Here's the comp. Holy shit, Najee eye injury. Like we gotta jam all Chargers, push everybody up. And then all of a sudden, oh, now offensive lineman injuries. We got to push him back down. Oh, now Najee's back in. Now we got to push him back down again. This is exactly what's going on here.
That is a very similar situation.
It's the snip snap of an entire month's worth. We just had an entire month's worth of NFL content in about 8-minute window here.
Yeah, classic NBA slate.
Yeah. Shout out to Jay Witz. There's Jay Witz rolling through, who took down last night's slate there. Shout out to Jay Witz, always hanging out. All right, Nez, let's move on there. I think we covered the Knicks spot. I think we covered the gross game environment of the Heat and Magic there. Did you give any specific takes on like the Magic side of anyone in particular you want to play? Like it feels like they kind of cannibalize one another in a really strong way. I mean, I don't know what Desmond Bane's impact on the offense is going to be for sure outside of shooting threes. I don't know. Maybe if Suggs missed tonight and some of the handling role could funnel to one of these other three, I could get excited about one of the other three. But this feels like a very this feels like maybe how the new projections of Cleveland are going to work for us. They play kind of like pace down, good defense, slow games. They have very talented players, but unless one of them's out on a given night, I don't know who to get excited about. I
mean, you can get excited about Paulo.
Okay.
Like 1480p is totally fine for Paulo, given the fact that he has like monster upside. It could still be, monster upside for him. We don't know what the dynamics of like Bane being on the court is going to be like for Paulo, but I can only imagine it's going to be extremely beneficial. Because the offense is still running through Paulo, right? When he's out there, it's still Paulo ball. But Desmond Bane out there is a huge benefit for him because it just like gives him way more space because that's just one defender that can't sag off. Because if they do, then there's a dish to Bane for a tray. So yeah, I think it's going to be really beneficial for Paulo. But Miami is like, we already don't really like the pace for the Magic, and we always feel queasy about playing Magic players, and them facing the Heat doesn't make things any better. But the Heat are kind of banged up. Maybe the Heat just are bad right now. Like maybe it's just an ass whooping, and then Paulo has 30 real life points by the third quarter, and it's a blowout. It wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the hand on the court take there of Desmond Bane was spacing the floor. Like the fact that they have to respect the three ball and have him play off ball, like that, I think that's really strong. And then I think for a secondary unit standpoint, like if they pull, Franz and Suggs off the floor, they pull Paulo and Suggs off the floor at the same time, second unit handling potentially going to Bane. That's something I'm going to be watching tonight for like just seeing how the overlap in those rotations go, because I do think that's a pretty astute, like I think he's such a good fit for this team from a real life basketball standpoint. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I love the move that they made.
Yeah.
You can't. It's so hard to get free agents to Orlando, and you got two awesome core pieces. Like, go for it. That was the most realistic way that they could.
It's kind of crazy that the dynamic in basketball juxtaposed to hockey is like it's hard to get guys to go to Orlando or Miami, whereas like the puck guys are like, fucking get me to Tampa, get me to Florida, let me play golf all day, puck at night, no state taxes. Like the puck guys are like, yo, get me there, and like the hoops guys are like, nah, we want to be in like New York and LA and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and label that not a mystery.
We move on with the program. But Steph Curry's a stick. He might want to retire there. Dude, there.
Steph. Yeah, Steph's a different story.
Another thing I want to be looking at here tonight with the Heat is just what Norm Powell looks like. Norm Powell talking about aspirations of All-Star and best scoring year yet and blah, blah, blah. He's been kind of openly talking about this, like that the next step for Norm Powell is to, be more of that lead handler, kind of like the guy that we played the last couple of years on the Clippers when other guys were missing and, he could do, 25 a night kind of thing. I'm very excited to see the dynamic between like him and Wiggins and that sort of deal. And also if they start Jovic today, like they gave him that 4-year extension, blah, blah, blah. But none of this is relevant to our slate in particular this evening. Just again, stuff that we are watching. Let's push forward there, Nez. 237, 5.5 by way of the new look Hawks. Also new look Raptors here with BI in the fold and that sort of deal. So we'll talk through some of those dynamics, but people always love to play these pace up Hawks games, and there's a lot of talent in this one, so rightfully so there. But just thoughts on the macro here as I bring up some of the ADPs and the injury report. Injury report, let me close that one. Where did you go? Do we not have official Atlanta yet?
I don't see any designations on the dog app, but
yeah, I don't see official Atlanta yet, but I see official Toronto. And yeah, Jacoby Walter was like a guy that we looked at last year a little bit, but won't factor in at all on this one. So nothing even sneaky to talk through there. But Raptors ADPs are interesting, man, because Scotty Bolway, aka Scotty Barnes, is always kind of in that upper echelon and always seems to project well in matchups like this. But what's the dynamic going to look like when they're fully healthy now? Because we haven't seen this starting unit all play together yet. So I'm intrigued to see what it looks like. Is there any intrigue on your end to be playing anyone other than Scotty Bolway on the Raptors tonight?
No, not really. I mean, and Scotty at his price too, I don't think is a great pick either. This is like, I think the Raptors are obviously like a pretty awesome starting five. And they have a pretty interesting rookie in Colin Murray Boyles, who is out tonight, but he I think should factor in for them whenever he is healthy. But like really strong starting five. But for fantasy, it's a headache until we get shorter slates where we can play these guys or more clarity on like what Scotty Barnes fantasy output looks like. But right now, I think people are way over projecting Scotty Barnes, and RJ Barrett too, for that matter, right? Like RJ Barrett having an ADP of 32, I just think is crazy given the fact that he's sharing the floor with Scotty, BI, IQ, like all these guys. Like we're projecting RJ as though it's like he was like the second and only other star on the floor for the Raptors. I think there's like this hangover from last year in that regard. Now watch RJ Barrett just have the most efficient game ever and pay off that ADP because ADP is undefeated. But that's just like the process of how I look at these guys. And RJ is like not in my ranks. I just don't want to touch that. And Scotty is, I just think Scotty's a little overdrafted right now. but
Okay.
I don't want to be caught without any, because we know that he can have monster ceilings if he racks up stocks. Maybe he's dishing out more dimes, even though like that would kind of like surprise me. I'm not sure what the handling role is going to look like since like IQ is here. Just a lot to watch with this new look Raptors. It seems like they're all going to kind of hurt each other's fantasy outputs.
Okay. Yeah, I like the take. I guess the nice thing you can say is it's highest total on the slate and it's pace up, and maybe there's enough fantasy points to go around. But yeah, I'm in lockstep with you on RJ being like my least favorite of the group. I don't think you can play Pirtle or IQ on our site tonight. I think it's fine to chase the stocks of Pirtle. I was taking some BI in the 6th round, man. I know we haven't seen it. Maybe there's some minutes monitoring going on there because it's his first regular season start alongside the team here, but 31 and 33 in the dress rehearsals is pretty encouraging, and we know what he can do from a scoring standpoint, especially in a matchup like this. So BI in the 6th round was someone I was about. I was about BI in the 6th round, but I'm in agreement with you, man. Like Scotty can do his Paulo, like his poor man Paulo impression at any given moment. But like if I'm ranking out the slate right now, he's probably closer to 20 than he is to 14 for me.
Yes, fully agree with you. Yeah, BI, I like the idea of like, if you want to scroll, play somebody from this game, I think BI would be a better scroll than RJ. But I'm honestly not getting to either.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I've done BI a couple times, so you and I will be different in that accord. But yeah, I mean, it's not much of a stance or anything like that.
Sure.
Let's talk about the Hawks side, man. New look Hawks. There's going to be a lot to see here. I thought it was really encouraging to see. I think it was 28 minutes or 27 minutes out of Kristaps Porzingis. We just haven't seen that. He also played well in some of the overseas stuff. People have been talking about that, how like the minutes kind of got back and like the illness is like fully behind him. We know what Dyson Daniels can do from a stock potential on our site. So there's two, scrolls there, but Zinger goes a decent amount of the time, I've been noticing. And then at the upper echelon, man, you have Trey, who led the world in assist rate last year. And then you have Jalen Johnson playing alongside. So this could be the first time we see this whole group back together. Jalen coming back from the shoulder injury there. Yeah, just thoughts on Hawks to play.
I mean, yeah, another team with like a huge makeover.
Yeah.
I mean, Toronto made theirs last year, but now they're healthy. But like obviously in the offseason, the Hawks made a few big changes, and Kristaps being the biggest. Yeah, I'm intrigued, but I think I'm fading Porzingis.
Yep, sure.
I thought the projection was like really, really bullish, like off the rip for him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it wasn't something that I was looking to get to, but man, if I knew that he was going to play like 33 minutes, 33, like I would probably get to more of them. So
I'm not sure that's in his bag night one.
Yeah, you think like 28?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
If I'm building the projections and I'm fam, I'm giving him 28 tonight. And like that band, like that right tail outcome band doesn't get to 35. Like there's other guys like BI, you could project for 33 and the right tail gets you to 35 or something like that. I don't think there's a right tail tonight for Zinger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like in terms of Hawks that I am interested in, like Trae Young, extremely interested in Trae Young. The fact that he has like such a better team around him right now, I think like his assist rate could go up even higher than it has been in the past, which is already like astronomical.
Yeah, which is already league leading. So that's crazy to say, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, like it would make sense. Not like make sense that it could go even higher, but I just think like he's probably going to convert on more assists. I would think, given the fact that his team is better. And he's got, Porzingis as a shooter as well. Maybe Ricochet, takes a step forward. Really, really like Trae Young tonight. And then Jalen Johnson, I am like kind of cautiously really optimistic on. Like he's been our guy, for a couple of years, and then got injured, and it was really upsetting. So like with Porzingis in the fold, how much does that really affect his fantasy output? I'm kind of in the camp that it like obviously like it's not like a huge plus, but he's also ADP 24, and I think he's awesome, and I think this total is sick, obviously. So I'm playing Jalen Johnson I'm above the field on Jalen Johnson right now. And then the other
I
player,
agree.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the other player is Dyson Daniels, that I think is definitely scrollable. Just the only guy that can like at the flip of a coin, give you like 6 stocks and
Right.
tack 18 points on anybody's fantasy points, and yeah, they look like a good pick. So Dyson Daniels can just like explode at any given moment.
Yeah, that's a good shout, man. Good reminder for everybody on our site how important stocks are. They're worth 3. There's no 3-point bonus here on our site. So the scoring format mirrors that of the redacted F scoring format. But yeah, it's there's certain guys on certain nights that you can just kind of like forecast where potentially right tail outcome in stocks come from, and Dyson is like the same outlier stock potential as, I don't want to say as far as Wemby, but it's like decently close on a night to night range of outcome right tail that he can give you like 8, which is crazy to think. You're muted. You're muted.
That's good because I almost said something. Do you think the purple Y DFS platform deserves a redactor? Or are they like not big enough that we can just like call them by their like Yahoo's scoring format is 1-to-1 with Underdog. So
it's glorified home league that like some guy accidentally deposits on.
That's he's like, well, now I gotta like play these contests, and then you're like, who's Brick 75? Like what? Yeah, Yahoo is the this is the scoring format. There's no way you're on. Awen has to be like 3 guys, dude. There's just no way that he could do all of this.
If Awen's winning on the Y platform too, I quit. I'm never playing again on any platform.
Take it easy.
One thing like just to watch tonight, does Kristaps Porzingis play the 4 alongside Onyeka and then pull Jalen Johnson off the floor? Like, I'm looking at that push-pull dynamic tonight. Like, is there going to be something rotationally speaking that either expands Zinger or caps Jalen Johnson, or do they want to play some double big overlap? That's just something I'm interested in. This team is deep, man. Atlanta looks deep, man. They brought in Na as well. Like, they got good rotation pieces here. So, yeah, I think a lot of people, and almost rightfully so, are excited about Atlanta this year, but it also makes it harder to play like just in a vacuum. I guess the best way to put it is what Nick said in the chat here. This game could just be like 135 to 127, and that's the exciting part. And I couldn't disagree with that like at all. Like, that is the exciting part.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's just hard to figure out who's going to pop on the Raptors side. Hornets side, it's definitely easier to kind of like label probabilities on these guys on who's going to be the guy you need.
Right on. All right, Nez, let's keep moving here. Next one up, man. Let me jump back over here. Sixers and Celtics here. 229 for this one. 4.5 by way of the Celtics at home. Obviously going to be the Jason Tatumless Celtics here, but a really big Jaylen Brown Q tag here with the left hamstring. And then on the Sixers side, no Jared McCain to start the year there. No Trendon Watford and no Paul George this evening. So, some interesting stuff on let's start with the Sixers side here. Embiid played in the final dress rehearsal, played really well, and he got up to 28 minutes if memory serves. Let me see here just to check my homework. He got up to, no, he didn't. It wasn't 28. It was 18. That seems way more reasonable there. I don't know, man. You give me Embiid versus, this front court that we think is going to be a problem for Boston. The fact that they got rid of Cornette, the fact they got rid of Horford and Zinger in this offseason here. And like, you got Keita on the other side, Chris Boucher, maybe a little Xavier Tillman mixed in, Luke Garza, like that sort of stuff mixed in. I would want to play the shit out of Embiid tonight. I almost put him on, front and center cover boy here, where it's like Embiid as ADP 6. If Embiid's healthy enough to get up to 28, he could do enough in this isolated matchup to just absolutely cook. do we get 28 to 32 minutes of Embiid tonight? And is he worth ADP 3 or 4 because of it? What do you think on the Embiid scenario this evening?
Well, he's like ADP 7.
Yeah.
So totally fine against
Yeah.
Boston, where he can just be like super efficient on, whatever number of minutes there. So I think at ADP, he's a great pick. I'm not sure how many minutes he's going to actually play because, he's starting off the season healthy. I'm still sure they want to be careful. But 30 minutes of Embiid can get you more than enough of what you need on this slate. So I don't think you need to jam Embiid and be overweight, but I think he's a really good pick. I wouldn't fade Embiid over any sort of fear.
Okay. Some astute people in the chat right now, Emwald pointing out how they did the Adembona starting alongside him at the 5, and then he was kind of like a 4, and I don't know, maybe this could be the future of Embiid. I'll be the first to admit I jammed a lot of Embiid on slates last year when he had the Q tag and stuff, and it went very poorly at times because he does not look like the same dude that we're accustomed to. He can still score fantasy points in plus matchups, in pace-up scenarios with the best of them. But, man, he does not move the same. I just, from a bro science eye test, he does not move the same. But just seeing Embiid with an ADP of 7, who could break the slate tonight and nobody blinks an eye and we all wake up tomorrow and go, hey, he should have been the 102 or whatever, he's the name that stands out to me.
Yeah. I agree. I think he there was once upon a time we were taking him top 3. Yeah. I like him tonight a lot.
Yeah. Any love for Maxey? People want to play VJ Edgecombe as the season goes on here, but probably not opening night on our site. Probably a bridge too far. Just Embiid and Maxey for you on the Sixers side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, just and I like Maxey.
Yeah, what do you think? ADP 18 this evening. Do you like him more than Scotty Bolway, who goes beside him? Do you like him more than, I don't know, you could go, do you like him more than Brunson now if we get Cat in?
Price adjusted, I kind of think so.
Okay.
I think so, price adjusted.
Yeah.
But this Boston team is potentially these games against Boston could be track meets. They have good, solid defenders on them, but Boston has always, they were chuckers last year. They're going to chuck this year. And I just think that these games could be pretty fantasy friendly. So Maxey over Barnes for me. Over Brunson, I can't quite get there, but over Barnes, I think.
Okay, sounds good to me. Let's talk about the Boston side here. We are dealing with this JBQ tag. I'll get your thoughts on that in a half second. Anticipating a starting lineup with Pritchard or with Anthony Simons in there this evening. Do you have a lean on that scenario?
It does seem like Pritchard's starting.
Okay. So you think it's going to be Pritchard, White, Brown, Hauser, Cada?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to get excited about using Anthony Simons as a scroll potential on this slate, just as that track meet game environment, lead handling, starts, whatever, but he might be capped. I mean, he could still play 31 off the bench or something like that, but it's maybe not as high ceiling as I originally thought, unless we get no Jaylen Brown, I guess.
Yeah, and I think he's going to play.
Okay.
He practiced leading up to this game.
Okay, good alpha from Nez there. If Jaylen Brown's playing this evening, does that make Derek White the worst ADP on the board?
No, it doesn't make him a good one, but I don't think it makes him the worst. I don't know that I could give you a worse off the top of my head, but Derek White is, very easily giving you 40 points tonight, 40 fantasy points. So I don't think he's a bad pick, but he's definitely, I definitely like Jaylen Brown more than him.
Sure, yeah. Do you have any kind of like 6th round Jaylen Brown and stuff like that from last night?
I have him in like the 5th round.
Sure. Yeah.
None in the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good to me. In the event that we got no Jaylen Brown this evening and you wanted to do the contrarian scroll as your swap there and just go 1-for-1, would you do Pritchard or Simons?
Pritchard.
Okay. Sounds good, dude. Let's keep pushing here. Let's talk about the Grizzlies and the Pelicans here. 237 here, 4.5 by way of the Grizzlies. Winky dropped some alpha on the double dribble stuff there. That like the reason why Slim Zion is a thing here, is the fact that he has a weight clause in his contract where he has to stay below a threshold to earn progressive incentives and money throughout the season. So very interesting, just dynamic to think about as the season goes on here. They're going to be without DeJounte Murray for a while. Now, Kevin Looney, who they added in the offseason, is out, and Karlo Matkovic is out this evening here. So basically, Slim Zion is the only guy going in the first couple rounds. He goes in the first round the majority of the time. There, we might see a little bit more handling, a little bit of point Zion as we like to play here this evening. But we got Jordan Poole in the fold. Now we got Trey Murphy's one of people's favorite best ball clicks this season was Trey Murphy. Everybody was getting excited about his potential here. Just walk me through what we could potentially see this evening from Zion and the Pels. Is there anyone else worth drafting?
Trey Murphy, I think I have some interest in as a scroll. Yep, 35.7 ADP. He's good, man, and he's gonna have his fair share of shots as well. No pool party yet. Too deep of a slate for the pool party, but he should get a ton of minutes here. No, I really like Zion. I just long gone are the days that we would get Zion in like the teens and the 20s. Just right off the rip, dude. Opening as a 1-2 turn pick is I get it, right? He's awesome. Like, we love Zion for a reason. I'm not gonna have my usual 30% Zion on this slate though. Like, that's just like way too much of a stance for to take over a lot of guys that go around him. So like 20% Zion, like, I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I still do wonder if there's like soft minutes monitoring with Zion. I haven't read anything that's like sticky about that, but it's just kind of been an evergreen narrative with him. I actually haven't read like matchups yet on ETR or anything before doing the show. So I don't definitively know if there's going to be something there. Gun to your head tonight, Nez. 26 minutes. Now let's give it ceiling outcome. 28 minutes of Embiid or 28 minutes of Zion this evening?
It's a good one.
It's close, right? Yeah.
It's a coin flip, dude. I can't give you an answer. It's a very good one. I think they're extremely similar. Probably Zion.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's basically what the field is saying based on these ADPs.
Okay. Yeah, Jay, every day should be a pool party. Carbach killing himself at Ozempic Zion. Got me laughing from a dude named Hefty dropping it into the chat. That's a good. I didn't even notice that. Chris said he can't stop laughing. He's gonna get in trouble at work. Good shit. That's what we're here for, baby. We're having fun drafting these games as a community. Let's talk about the Grizz side, dude. Ja goes every time. JJJ goes. We're going to be without, official injury report here. They're going to be thin in both the backcourt and the front court here. Front court guys missing Brandon Clark and Zach Edey. Vince Williams, who also plays some forward there. And then their backcourt is thin. No Ty Jerome, no Scottie Pippen Jr. I just macro thoughts on this one. It's Ja and JJJ going every single time. But new look with no Desmond Bain out there. We're going to have KCP, Jalen Wells, who led all rookies in starts last year, will continue to start, can shoot the three a little bit. And then former Phoenix Sun postseason dumpster dive, scroll the F down in the 6th round legend, Jacques Landell, going to be most likely starting at the 5 tonight, which probably just means a lot of Santi Aldama, to be honest. But yeah, man, this might be considerably tighter than we think, and that bodes well for Ja and JJJ in particular. Are we scared about their minutes at all? Are you scared about Ja coming? He wasn't necessarily going to be. He played it coy. He was like, "Hey, I might be ready for opening night," or everybody else was like, "He might be ready for opening night," and he's like, "Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good." I don't know. He's the piece they got to protect out here. Any minutes, potentially being scared of there?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's like it's a possibility. That's why we're talking about it, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
And everything that you're seeing, props wise and projection wise, doesn't think so either. So I like him against the Pelicans. This is like a really fun, like, slop it up game here.
Mm-hmm.
And John JJJ should do very, very well here. I like both these guys at ADP a lot.
For those tuning in for the first time ever, we get JJJ at home narrative, a narrative dating back to a 3-year span, primarily when he played the 5, less so than when he played the 4, that he would get credited with the phantom blocks, the phantom stocks all the time out here at home. Hopefully we still have the same timekeeper and scorekeeper at home this year, because I want to play some JJJ tonight, man.
I mean, that last year we kind of saw a downtick in the stocks from him, from what we were used to seeing, and we kind of thought it was because he was trying to foul less. But we'll see what happens here. He looks like an awesome pick, though, given the setup of the Grizzlies right now. Or, like you said, we think it's going to be more condensed. They have a new coach that they brought in like late last year that played things much tighter than what we saw throughout the season. So yeah, I think we should be really, really excited about Jaren Jackson Jr. for the uninitiated.
Yes, there you go. Who's JJJ? Yeah, we guys, don't be afraid to ask questions, especially early in the season here. We are the Badge Bros for a reason. We talk in bro-isms, and it's even worse because John speaks in John-isms, which are sometimes Canadian and sometimes completely made up as well. So yeah, it can get confusing out here. I hear you. Nez, anything else to potentially get to with Memphis this evening, or is it literally just Ja and JJJ?
No, it's just those two.
Yeah, anything else is a bridge too far on our site. From that game environment in particular, I'm in agreement with you, man. If I'm going to scroll, it's Trey Murphy in the 6th.
Yeah, and I like him.
Cool. Let's keep pushing here, man. Bulls and Pistons, 236 out here. 3 by way of the Pistons on the road there. Bulls going to be without Zach Collins and Kobe White this evening, so maybe some first unit handling opening up, maybe some more minute security there for Vooch, though we do have a never Vooch clause out here. And then Pistons to monitor here. Jaden Ivey has the out tag right now, which would be kind of like second unit handling or like first unit off ball / trading off with Cade. So maybe slight bump to Cade there. Karis LeVert, aka Cassius LeVert, has the probable tag, and then Marcus Sasser has the doubtful tag here. Anyone that you're interested on the Pistons side outside of the obvious of playing, Cade Cunningham in the first round, and then maybe doing a little bit of a later 6th round scroll to Jalen Duren there. Anyone else you're interested in?
No, I do like Duren for a scroll. He's going to be really low owned. I like him as a scroll a lot in this spot. Huge total. Bigs against Chicago has been pretty profitable. So yeah, I like Jalen Duren here a lot. Hoping to see him take yet another step forward, and that would be great to see here in this spot. So yeah, just Caden Duran for me. Asar, we expect like a leap as well, but I don't think you can take him here. I think that's like that's playing it way too early. He could have a great game, but like that's way too early. But shout out to Asar. We're expecting big things from him.
Yeah, I saw Winky posted his bets for the season there, and he took Asar as Defensive Player of the Year at some like plus 6,000 or something like that. So yeah, I'm excited to see that. He talked him up a little bit during our best ball show there, where he was like, "Man, have you seen the other Thompson? Yeah, just like maybe bet on this one when he's healthy, right?" Like it was just like, "Oh yeah, that kind of just checks out, man." We kind of glazed over it, brushed over it last night, or this morning from last night's game. Is dude, look out, man. If they keep camping out and giving Almond those wide open threes, he hit one early in the game that was a foot on the line that came back as a 2. But like apparently he was working on that shot in the offseason. If he starts knocking shots and he has to get guys to start closing on him, it's going to be beneficial for fantasy at the start of the year, because if he can shoot and he actually can make those shots, he's going to outperform his projections, because we don't think he can shoot right now. Or if people have to play up on him, man, he can go to the rack in a big way. So Almond could be a lot of effing fun.
Yeah, he needs that. He needs that.
Yeah, he ended up going over 7. That's why I talked about the foot on the line one, because he did hit one. Yeah. Shout out to Almond almost making a 3. Yes, that's what we do around here. That's how you know I'm a ball knower. That's how you know I'm watching the games, Nick. Yeah, I like this shout. Duran going to eat Vooch's lunch. Vooch was a guy that we attacked so many years for those center matchups. We talked about centers against the Hornets. We talked about centers against the Wizards. We then talked about centers against Vooch. I like the shout of Duran as a scroll there. He plays so well in our scoring format, and there's no reason to think the minutes aren't there tonight, especially in a close spread game with a pace up. B-ball Paul will get a little bit of run off the bench. Beef Stew will get a little bit of run off the bench, but I could see north of 28 from Duran tonight, and really mattering if he gets like 3 or 4 stocks on 10 plus boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Vooch stuff, people are asking, doesn't Jon like Vooch? What's going on with Vooch? Vooch was, if you went back and looked at the data last year from our games, he was effectively the 101 most overdrafted player on our site, Nez. He was one of the players in which was tethered to the most losing of money when you go through the data of last year, which I found fascinating.
Yeah, when Wood had that available when his site was slower, but because he was offering that to us. He wasn't the most losing pick. It was actually LeBron and Tatum, because they were always like sharing slates with other really strong first rounders and they could never match.
Okay.
He was your highest drafted player.
That's what it was. There you go.
Yeah. So
he was
never Vooch is like, that's a personal mantra for you. I like Vooch tonight. Just to like pivot to the Chicago side, because we are talking about this game. I like Vooch as a late pick, honestly. Given the setup for Chicago right now. It's Giddey, Vooch, and like Matas is, and like we'll get some Dosunmu and Trey Jones in there. But I think Vooch can put up like a pretty decent score here. The ADP is so rich, but like he falls a lot. Like he's not like he's getting drafted more often than not, but he falls to that 6th round quite a bit. So like I don't mind Vooch in the 6th round, honestly, in this high scoring spot where like he's going to probably be asked to do a lot of scoring. And then Giddey,
okay, cool.
Giddey's got that super high ADP. And I have him like a spot or 2 behind it, but like I don't want to have no Giddey. He's such like a fantasy monster, dude. Just does a little bit of everything, a lot of everything. And Giddey's a great pick. Like his ADP makes sense.
Yeah, he's like potential triple double with 3 stocks every single night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But why take Josh Giddey in the 2nd round when you can take Denny Avdia in the last round?
Por qué no los dos, brother?
You talked about Buzelis there. There's one thing that's not on the injury report yet that I thought would be. I don't think Patrick Williams. Oh, okay. He was removed from. Okay, so he's cleared. Okay, I thought that was another one that would just factor into the rotation. Obviously, not a playable component, but just would have condensed them even further there. Yeah, Io could play big minutes and give you like a Lou Dort-esque stat line, but doesn't matter on our site. Buzelis is kind of like the fun guy to watch tonight to see if he can take that big second-year leap out here, right?
Yeah, he doesn't project well tonight. Like, I don't think this is the slate to get to him on 12 goddamn games, but Buzelis is the guy to watch here.
Cool. Kaiser dropping off $2 at our door saying, love the show, seen so many winners. Much appreciated, much love. This is truly, this is not us pumping our own bags. This is where anyone who wins on the Underdog platform hangs out. I mean, we are so fortunate to have made friends in this space and just kind of built up a community that is admittedly sharper than I am. You know, like I'm not going to say sharper than both of us, but a community that is sharper than I am. And it's truly great out here. And yes, Scotty Barnes is Scotty Bolway because of his Subway endorsement deal in Canada. You take pictures of the sign every time you see it. All right, Nez, let's keep pushing, dude. Let's talk about the Wizards and Bucks here. Bucks as 9.5-point favorites to open the season at home, a 227. We joked about the Bobby Portis effect. We joked about the Giannis probable tag to start this one off. We don't think it's like a full, like, quote unquote downgrade. Going through the backtracking through the official NBA injury report and clicking on like 2 a.m. last night or something like that, there was no submission from Milwaukee yet. There was only a submission from the Wizards. So this is actually a first-time submission that it is the probable tag for Giannis. Yeah, you know, we've seen Giannis probables in the past. I liken it to, you know, some of the stuff that the Lakers used to do. I'm pulling up the most recent NBA injury report here to see if it is even official. There it is. Giannis probable lower back soreness. Yeah, for carrying that fucking franchise on his back for 10 straight years or whatever it's been now, 8 straight years. So that's why he has lower back soreness of the back. Yeah, man. Outside of Giannis, obviously we know the implications of no Dame. We know the push-pull dynamic of if Giannis is out, we'd probably want to get some Bobby Portis in our life, but that's changed this year because we're dealing with Miles Turner as well there. Kevin Porter Jr., who is a guy that people love to jam in fantasy circles around us, most likely going to be starting this evening. Him and AJ Green, sharing some of that lead handling. AJ Green presumably playing a little bit more off ball. Truly an elite 3-point shooter. Yeah, just thoughts on this one. Thoughts on Giannis. Let's do the Giannis versus Wemby first, and then can you play anybody else from the Bucks?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
A great spot, but like small, shorter slate. Yeah, I'd be getting to Miles Turner. I'd be getting to Kevin Porter. But yeah, I'm not doing it. The only thing that, like, if you want to like burn some money, dude, you want to burn $5, take Bobby Portis with your last round pick with Wemby. And, you know, then you have like just the most nutted combo ever if this Giannis P tag turns for the worse. I don't think that's a good idea. I think Giannis is going to play, but that's like the only thing that you could do. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense drafting anybody other than Giannis tonight.
Yeah, and what Nez is effectively suggesting there is the binary outcome of creating a lineup that is either worth, 0 in expected value or is worth like $14, $18, $22 based on projection if that event ever took place. It's very similar to the thesis we talked about 2 weeks ago with the Chuba versus Rico or the Rashad White versus Bucky, where, hey, people in the dog bowl were taking these guys in the 6th round despite the Q tags earlier on those players.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, dude. I'm excited to see what Miles Turner looks like tonight. I agree it's probably not playable this evening, but we know he has a block ceiling, and we know he could shoot the three a little bit despite his ineptitude in the postseason last year to make any of those effing threes that we tried to play over and over again in the pick'em lobby. But I just he kind of feels like a more pace up, more athletic, better version of Brook Lopez that I think is going to matter on certain slates this season.
Yeah, shorter slates.
Yeah,
makes more sense for these guys. Definitely a team to watch, though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're not drafting these guys, but like they are a brand new look.
Yeah. If Kevin Porter Jr., he's going to be an absolute jam on nights where Giannis is out and he has like just full lead handling and plays 36 minutes kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And so we just know what he can do from a rate standpoint across multiple categories. Nez, let's talk about the Wizards side here. People really got excited about drafting the Wizards in best ball for some of the rookie potential or some of the forecasting guys into roles in the future there. Like, Bob Carrington's going to start and play a lot. Keyshawn George is going to start and play a lot. Sarr plays a lot there, but this is an iteration of a team early in the season that is going to be very, very deep and spread out. Like they brought in Cam Whitmore as well. They brought in CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton, revenge game here, going to get his to start the season. This just looks like a clusterfuck of like, hey man, here's 24 minutes to everybody. And even the guy who gets 32 minutes isn't going to matter on a 12-game slate in our contest.
Yeah, no, shorter slates. I'm going to be excited to like mix and match Wizards. This slate is not it. And I say that I'm excited now, but they got a lot of young guys here that, this could actually be annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and take that back. Yes, they're doing a rare type of construction where they are just like lifting heavy materials and dropping them on the pavement outside of my house. It's so fucking annoying, dude. Like, apologies if you are hearing nukes being dropped. Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. Shit that goes on outside this house.
That's just Cooper Flagg warming up outside his door there in Dallas, baby. That's just him icing three balls right now.
No, it's bricks, dude. He's bricking every
bricks.
shot. Like, dude, what?
Yo, Russell Westbrook just rolled through.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to be exciting yet. I'm excited for the future potential of getting some out tags, getting Middleton and CJ moved, and then what it could look like when we play this team in February and we jam, Trey Johnson and Cam Whitmore.
Yeah, we got to see what the minutes look like for CJ, because if CJ's getting like good minutes, then he's going to be pretty fun to play on certain slates.
Sanjay Rich is right. That's D'Lo getting his bricks up. There we go. That's exactly what we
D'Lo's wet. Put some respect on D'Lo. He's got a shot.
But Car Park saying that the Wemby Portis would have been nutted until Nez just got it all completely mushed. Evergreen out here. That's what we do, man. We mush the plays. We're like Jewish McCaffrey at 11 p.m. Eastern on a Slate breakdown on his Twitter feed.
That's right.
Nez, if you were using some of the hashtag models, this next game is going to pop for you. We got the Clippers as 9.5 point favorites on the road against what could potentially be the worst team in the Western Conference, the Jazz here. This is a 220.5. I'm going to save our kind of breath on the Jazz side. I mean, there's definitely things to be interested in watching for the future here. Like, I want to see what's up with Ace Bailey. I want to see, Walker Kessler with a little bit of a ceiling. I want to see how that rotation works with him and Nurk there. I want to know who they're going to run at the one. Does Walter Clayton, who was like a big pick at the back end of best ball drafts, does he get a little burn at the expense of our guy Keynote, aka Keontae George there? But man, a whole bunch of stuff that on like night one, I don't really want to play it, right? So we got Ace Bailey available. Collier's out. George Niang's out here. Clippers side, we'll talk about in a half second.
Yeah. So you want me to talk about the Jazz that we're not drafting, or
more or less? Is there anyone playable?
No, but like the one that the two players that could be playable, but I'm not playing, are Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen. They will have big games. One of the offseason notes that I saw in the Jazz is like Danny Ainge had to like make a statement. I think he was probably like getting death threats from the league office. So he had made a statement. It was like, we're not tanking this year. Like, okay. You weren't supposed to tank in the first place.
Yeah, didn't know you had to come out and explicitly say you're going to try and win basketball games as a franchise this season.
So that's like notable. Not necessarily in this spot because it's a deep slate. We don't have to worry about it. But like Lauri and Walker Kessler could have like really strong fantasy games in the future if they are being played heavy minutes because there are no incentives because they tried and failed miserably at tanking. Not that Ace Bailey is a horrible consolation prize, but don't think that's what they were after whenever they were, disgracing the game of basketball.
Right.
So
last season,
yeah. Well, obviously Walker Kessler is a big guy, stock upside, but not in this spot. But yeah, I think they will be usable in the future. We just need to kind of keep an eye on how they're being used on slates when we're not drafting them.
Yeah. Well said, dude. The one thing I just want to reset everybody's mindset towards is Will Hardy likes to run like 10, 11, 12 deep. He does like the Steve Kerr bullshit that we saw last night, where it's just like, hey, man, we're going to play 11 tonight, and I don't know where the minutes are going to go, and I don't know who we're going to start. So just get used to Utah being kind of like Warriors light when it comes to, not getting a lineup till late, not knowing if, Sensible has a Q tag, and then all of a sudden he plays and 4 other guys get ruled out. Like, this was the shit that they did last year. Hopefully for the starting point of the season here, we see a little bit more condensed of a rotation, and we can play them on a slate that doesn't have 12 games effectively. Let's talk about the Clippers side, dude, because the Clippers are literally the oldest team in the history of basketball. I saw last night that the longest and tallest team in the history of basketball in the modern era, like prior to like 77 or something like that, is the Rockets. I think this is probably, I didn't even look it up, this just has to be the oldest team in the history of basketball. I'm running with it. I made the stat up. But we'll see here. If you're using some of the redacted projections today, Nez, you're going to find yourself getting to a lot of James Harden and a lot of Kawhi Leonard on this slate. They're both projecting better than their current ADPs, just given the matchup, given the fact that they could really run it up here. I'm scared to play olds, man. I'm scared to play olds in potential blowout game environments that are like 9.5 road favorites here. I think they could do a lot with a little like early and like only play like 31 minutes and both get like 49 fantasy points here. But I'm not 100% certain that like both these guys have like 65 burgers in their bag that you might need on a 12-game slate to really break this thing wide open and score 300 fantasy points to win this slate tonight. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I am taking James Harden a good bit. I am taking Kawhi Leonard a good bit. I am taking Zubac a good bit. The Clippers are good. They were good last year, and I think they're pretty damn good again this year. But yeah, the minutes for Kawhi are a question, but not on the injury report. Great to see. He did play some preseason, didn't play the finale. So yeah, I like Harden and Kawhi tonight. I mean, and Zub's going to be less than 50%, and really like the way he gets fantasy points. The one thing that I'm curious on is like, what do the minutes look like for Zubs because of the addition of Collins and Brook Lopez? How much does that cut into his time?
That's literally the question I was just going to ask you, Nez, is, I think everybody's kind of forecasting a starting lineup that will be Harden, Bradley Beal, shout out Underdog Partnership, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, and Zubac. Like, that's what I think people are going to project the starting lineup to be. I think it's really interesting who you think next man up is. They played a lot of Chris Dunn last year, primarily for defensive reasons, but Chris Paul could come off and have a lead handling role. Like, this is the deepest iteration of a Clippers team we've seen in a long time. So, like, does that mean they start managing minutes early with all these veteran bodies early in the season? You know, like, does Brook Lopez split that 5 role as you were leading to? Does I really don't know how this is going to break it down. And I think if we knew for certain that we were getting 32 minutes of the first 2 guys, Harden and Kawhi, on the screen, and I knew I was getting 28 to 30 of Zubac, like, I would be all in on this spot. I'm a little more bearish in terms of, like, older team, very winnable game. I know it's opening night, but I think they do have, like, finals aspirations, last kick at the can with this group. That's why they acquired all the veteran depth, and why they went out and got John Collins, that this could be, like, really spread.
Yeah, that's definitely the worry, like the downside. But, like, until then, you draft James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. Like,
yeah,
it's a good spot. They're good at basketball. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty good synopsis there.
Boring game.
Say again.
Boring game. You know, not much to really talk about from a dog app side.
Yeah, you just you play Harden and Kawhi, and then if you want to scroll, you scroll.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the Spurs and Mavericks next up there. 2.5 for this Dallas team at home there that will have AD and the regular season debut of Cooper Flagg this evening. 224 here. We have the Wemby is growing narrative on the other side. Basically, only 3 players getting drafted from this ball game right now. Obviously, no Kyrie Irving to start the year here, and no De'Aaron Fox. There's also no Jeremy Sohan, Kelly Olynyk, or Lindy Waters on that Spurs side, and Dante Exum is out. Daniel Gafford as a sneaky doubtful tag here in terms of center rotation, which would, I don't know if that brings Derek Lively into play on our site, but he was always a guy we liked to play. I don't know what they do with the 5 spot here. I think the thought process is, Nez, is that AD plays the 4 this year, and they play kind of double big, and they would use Lively plus AD quite a bit here. So I don't know, man. They don't love to play Dwight Powell, good Canadian kid. Outside of that, I don't know. Maybe second unit has AD at the 5, and then they bring PJ Washington off the bench, or like I don't know what this rotation's going to look like. Is there any other piece I can get excited about other than AD?
I mean, Flag, obviously.
Yeah.
ADP of 32. That's going to be like well under 100% drafted. I think he's like a questionable play. I don't love it. I'm not really sure what he will look like from a box score standpoint. Like, obviously he should be a monster defensively and should definitely like give us, stocks, like plenty of them. But like, what's the offensive role look like? Is he, that's obviously like the biggest question here. And against the Spurs, I don't know that it's like a good spot to find out.
Okay. Yeah, there was some reports in the preseason there from kids specifically about him having like lead handling and him playing like point guard kind of vibes at times. I don't know if that holds water. I don't know if that comes to fruition in the first game of the regular season here, because you do have D'Lo, who is, not a prototypical like distributing style point guard, but he is a ball dominant player in years past kind of thing. So that's a decent amount to compete with there. He's definitely better with the ball in his hands than off ball. You have Clay, who plays largely off ball. I don't know. This is a very interesting one to watch this evening, just in general. Do you want to be the play it before you see it guy, though, with Flag?
I don't think so on this slate. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to have much of any.
That's kind of the sentiment I got from you when you were talking there. Let's talk about the Spurs then, dude. Wemby versus Giannis right now. I guess we didn't really touch on it when we did the Giannis stuff. I asked the question, but we went in a different direction. Giannis versus Wemby. Who's your 1-0-1 tonight?
It was Giannis, and I think it still is. But
okay. Sounds good by me. Is anybody else on the Spurs playable this evening? Obviously, the omission of Fox here. Rookie of the year last year, Stephon Castle. We know he can get it done in multiple categories on any given night. Has a little bit of stock ceiling there as well. Could have some like first unit lead handling there. Dylan Harper was their first round pick. Yeah, I don't know. Just thoughts here on any potential scrolls on their team.
I think like Castle is the only one that you could consider, and the only one that I would consider. Sure. And I'm not really considering it. But he would be the second best fantasy option for me tonight for them.
Okay.
Not really much else to say other than like Wemby's the 102 for me, and might even mix him in at the 101 depending on what it looks like rooms are doing with this Giannis probable tag. So far, it doesn't look like they're flinching, but if I see myself getting, Giannis at 102 quite a bit, then I'll flip.
Okay, sounds good. MSTD, what's wrong with aspiration? We don't think the Clippers. That's their mindset.
Oh my gosh, no! The contract thing with under the table payment at Ballmer. Nice. Yeah, that was Aspiration Company. That was the name of the front.
Oh, that's good. Good Freudian slip by me to use that in tandem with the Clippers. Love it. Yeah, accidentally on purpose, right, Nez?
That's the motto here, basically.
Yeah. This is the second of the ESPN nationally televised games, just for what it's worth. I don't think that matters on a 12-game slate, but it's something we'll talk about. Just dynamic for Q tags and stuff like that in the future here. 2 more games to go here, Nez. Let's jump back to the beautiful unabated platform. We got the Kings and the Suns today. Our first look at the Suns without Kevin Durant and without Bradley Beal. This is a 229 here, 4 points by way of the Suns here. Kings are going to be missing Sabonis this evening. Let me get the official injury report here. Isaac Jones, Keegan Murray, and Sabonis out this evening. Grayson Allen probable. Jalen Green out for the Suns. Dude, can we see some Point Booker here? We fell in love with Point Booker at isolated moments over the last couple years where he just looked so good with the ball in his hands and was getting so many shots up on those nights without KD. I look at this team, man, and I go, where's the scoring going to come from? Grayson's camped out in the corner. Dylan Brooks doesn't do much offensively. Ryan Dunn, kind of more of a D side guy there, and big Mark Dubb, our favorite guy, Mark Williams at the center spot there. If this team's going to hang, play fast, and score this evening, doesn't just like all of it stem through Booker? Yeah.
I love Devin Booker tonight.
Love it, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a ton of Devin Booker. I've got him ranked 6th.
Okay.
And I don't really plan on getting off that. I want a ton of him. Just seems like a no-brainer, man. Not a lot of name recognizable players on the Sun side here. So like, you're just really hoping for a lot of scoring and just like 40 minutes out of Devin Booker. Like he's going to play so much. And he's going to be awesome. Just like pour one out for Mark Williams, who has a target number of minutes is the quote. Because man, he would just be eating up this Kings front court without Sabonis, man. Such a shame. A shame.
If this is a time that I really wish Joe Val hadn't switched teams, because we'd be jamming some Joe Val in the last round there without Sabonis.
Yeah. What could have been? What could have been here? And then just to get hit with that second half notification that Keon Ellis is starting ahead of Joe Val. Don't you just wish that you could have that? Yeah, I know. Me too.
Love it, dude. Love it. Me too. Yeah, it's funny. Consigularis bringing up Nick Richards. It's kind of funny that we get the the front court from the Hornets is just now the front court for the Suns there with that Mark Williams and Nick Richards back and forth again.
Love that thought process, right? Who has good bigs like the Hornets. Let's get those. That'll fix our problem. Let's. So funny, man.
Oh man. We got a revenge game on the other side for the Kings here in Drew Eubanks. We got Dennis Schroeder, who had that amazing Euro League MVP run there with Team Germany. That he will be most likely starting at the 1 for the Kings this evening. They tried to get rid of Malik Monk. Malik Monk's still there. Levine, who their front office admittedly doesn't like at all, but he's still there. DeRozan, who just, puts up 40 fantasy points no matter what, is available in the last round here this evening. Is there anyone you want to play? Russell Westbrook, I believe he still hasn't played a game for them yet, and he was like one of the last signees. Anybody you want to play on the Kings this evening? Because it is a 228, and there's not some household names on the Sun side.
Yeah, I think I want to play DeRozan and Levine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have a ton of DeRozan.
Yep.
In spots of old, when we would have no Sabonis, we would see a big time projection on DeRozan, and his drafted percentage is going to be super, super low. And against this Phoenix team, I'm really excited to get to DeRozan here, and sparingly some Levine. I prefer DeRozan, but I think both these guys make a lot of sense to draft given the state of both their teams.
Yeah, no, I really like that take there, Nez. I am Team DeRozan this evening as well. I like the spot. Definitely has like some tough defensive matchups. Like if you go and guys, we don't really do like the DVP thing in basketball because it's so fluid and there's so much switching and there's whatever. But you can do some time isolated matchups and like who's going to be on ball and that sort of stuff. Like the potential here of Dylan Brooks isn't my favorite thing in the world for DeRozan, but DeRozan finds so many creative ways to get his own shot up. I like it, dude. I think they're going to need scoring.
Yeah, I am. I'm excited about this game, man. It's slop it up, true slop it up, because the total is low as well. But I think this is a pretty fun one.
Yep. Hey, this is a good shout here. Damn, the Kings are so small. Yeah. They're going to have to play. They're probably going to have to play small tonight for sure, right? Any love for a potential Westbrook ceiling? He's going to be eased in.
Dude, if he's not being eased in, I don't think we should draft Russ, but I think Russ could have a night.
Okay.
Because why were they so they wanted to sign him so bad for some reason? There's whispers that they were going to sign him for a while, then they finally do bring him in. And given the state of their team, given the state of the Suns, I really do think Russ can fill out the stat sheet. But I'm not drafting him, and I'm not advising people do draft him. But if he does play minutes, man, Russ could go crazy.
Yeah, Russ going crazy would be fun. This is a funny one from Rocket Sauce here. Just why play Levine or DeMar DeRozan in the 6th round when you can just have Porzingis ruin your night? That's so good. We got a Mello sighting on the program here. Shout out to Mello.
Okay, we'll give him some spotlight.
Yeah, Simba, that guy up to the moon. There you go.
What's up, dude?
NBA on NBC has their Mello, and we have ours.
He might be better dressed. He more formally dressed.
Yeah.
Mine, that is.
Oh man. What a cutie indeed. If I speak, Car Park, let's wait till NBA Dog Bowl is or let's wait till NFL Dog Bowl is finished, and then maybe we could potentially have some conversations. Maybe we'll see. We'll see here. Nez, last game on the slate, dude. Forever love, man. Forever love the Portland Trailblazers for putting out their lineup as early as the Minnesota Twins do every single day. Portland getting out here and dropping their lineup at before 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I fucking love these guys, man. Drew Holiday, Shaden Sharp, Tamani Kamara, a.k.a. Tamarka Traz. Is that what we named him last year?
What do we call him? Shit.
Yeah. I think it was Tumon Alcatraz. I don't remember. Anyways, he's fucking good on defense. Denny Avdia and our guy Klingen, dude. Klingen getting the start tonight with Aiden out. And Big Tariff going to be off the bench this evening. So yeah, just thoughts on the Blazers side here. This is a 221.5. They are home dogs in this one. Official injury report has Dame Lillard, Scoot Henderson, and Time Lord out this evening, aka Robert Williams the third. So condensing that center rotation. These are, for those who forget, are Blazers. Nez and I have been proponents of the Blazers, taking that next step, dude.
Yep.
So yeah, they look kind of deep in terms of rotation pieces on paper. But yeah, that starting unit, I hope Shaedon Sharpe can get some shots up. I really like Denny tonight. Anything else to play?
I like Denny a lot. I have a lot of Denny.
Yeah.
I think he's a great pick. He falls quite a bit. He's rising, but he does still like go undrafted. Big fan of him. Yeah, I wish it was a shorter slate for so many of these teams because like it's kind of hard to get to these guys. So this is definitely one that we want to see what it looks like for them. Maybe Shaedon takes a big offensive jump and like that could hurt Denny, but I'm still playing Denny. And then our guy Klingon, man. Yeah, he's got young Hansen there, Chinese Jokic, but I don't think he's going to be factoring in too much to start. Like Klingon will probably rarely get over 30 minutes because he's, we'll see how his conditioning is, but Klingon is awesome. He's so fun. He's a monster as a rim protector, and he's a really good passer for a big guy as well. So he's like the Blazers are going to be really fun this year, and they're going to be a huge problem defensively for teams. A huge problem. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes because like it's still Ant Edwards. Like I don't think you should fade Ant at this price, but like, dude, the Blazers rule.
I like where you're at on the Blazers stuff, dude. I mean, like I talked about it with Winky that like everybody this time of year is like, hey, we're gonna play fast and whatever. Yeah, they might actually play fast and they might actually have the youthful legs and bodies to do so. I think the scary part is they could be so good on the defensive end that like, hey, maybe they just put the clamps on and these games don't play like overly to right tail outcomes of totals. That would kind of be like the thought process. Hopefully good transition defense leads to easy fast break buckets would kind of be like what I would wish cast for this team. But yeah, man, I like the shouts, man. I think Danny Avdia was probably my favorite back end ADP that wasn't a Q tag on the board. I'm excited about Shaedon Sharpe. He's just so effing athletic, and I think he can score. And without Scoot there to rip minutes from him, I like it. And then you said everything about Klingon, man. Like I think he could be a sneaky. Maybe it's better served for the dunking after dark late slate. But like, man, I want some Klingon tonight in this matchup because he's been on the record of saying, I want to play 30 minutes a night. Like I can play 30 minutes a night. If we get like, a front court where now Aiden's removed from it, where Big Tariff is kind of the only body behind him and Time Lord isn't there. Come on, man. Like this is the spot to let him play 30 early in the year. And he can just do so much from a rates perspective.
Yep. Yeah. So, like you said, if they play fast, just like to tie a bow on it, circle it back. If they do play fast, that'll be like a blessing for us because then it's just, we don't have to completely X out this game, every time that the Blazers are on the slate. But they've got some absolute clamps, and Klingon's a huge part of it as a rim protector.
Right. Yeah, John does speak in tongues. Big Tariff sitting behind Time Lord. Oh shit!
Big Tariff is a new one, so yeah, that's Chinese Jokic, aka Young Hansen.
Yeah, Young Hansen, aka Young Handsome in the chat here from Swish. Young Handsome. That's a reference to both Mello and Big Tariff.
This dude's nuts, man.
Mr. TD, man, he's saying the Blazers would be a playoff team in the East. No, man, this team could be a playoff team in the West. And if you watched how they played at the tail end of last year, they were pushing to be a playoff team in the West last year. If they had just not had as brutal an injury run out and as brutal a start as they had, they were really strong in the second half. like Dame coming back to this team next year is like pretty exciting, man.
It is. It is. Like nice veteran leadership, and he could actually be a pretty strong contributor to them as well. And I hope Chauncey gets to like see it through. I hope he does a good job, and like because he's been with them through thick and thin. So it'd be cool to see him like kind of take this team out of the mud and see it through. That'd be cool. Seems like he's doing a pretty good job.
Right on. Yeah, well said. Let's end here with the T-Wolves side of that game. Obviously not a soft landing spot for Portland. Like the T-Wolves were a very strong team last year, Western Conference Finals team? Yeah, they were, right? Yeah.
Yes. And they got swept.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, man, we talk about what Rudy Gobert is on the defensive end, which is obviously going to be tough for Klingon there if you're just doing the matchups game. We like Naz Reid off the bench. There was a Dante DiVincenzo note that he's going to start ahead of Mike Connolly this evening, so that's pretty exciting for us on the Dante DiVincenzo resurgence tour here. Yeah, I guess the biggest thing here is Ant Edwards with this Q tag, man, because it is a tough defensive matchup. It's not the highest total in the world, but Ant with a 14.4 ADP does not belong there, especially if he's going to make good on his promises to play as much as he's been saying this season and really make a push for MVP. Ant is a guy who seemingly always plays through Q tags. This is anecdotal. I don't have the data to back it up, but it is something that's like just kind of been talked about and renowned through the league that like this is the guy who plays through them. I don't know how you feel about opening night Ant here, Nez, with the Q tag. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to play.
Yeah.
Before he even participated in shoot around, Unabated thought he was going to play as well, and they gave him a boost after he participated in shoot around. So he's going to play. And he's what did he lead the league in last year? Maybe not 3 points made, maybe 3 points attempted. Maybe it was 3 points made. No, that would have been Beasley, I think. But dude, it's Ant, and yeah, we have the joke Ant doesn't have a ceiling, but Ant's a great play, man. And he makes a lot of sense to get to here at this ADP. It's way too cheap.
Yeah. Well said, dude. Any love for like Julius Randle in the last round or any other scroll on the T-Wolves?
I don't like the Julius Randle scroll personally.
Yep.
So no other scrolls for me for the T-Wolves.
Yeah, I don't love the Julius Randle matchup this evening. Like, I think Portland's going to have some respect put on their name. Yeah, in the blink of an eye here, man. I think Portland's going to – I don't know what their schedule looks like to start the year, but I think people are going to start respecting pretty soon.
Everybody's talking about Portland, man, and like they're like the most popular sleeper pick ever.
Yeah. Shout out to Pete's – what was it? His cousin or his cousin or his kindergarten classmate or something like that. Maybe both.
Oh yeah, what is it? But
he had two stories. I think this one's his cousin.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Dante scored his 1,000th career high school point versus us. They paused the game for like 10 minutes.
That's what they do. That's a big deal in high school when you score 1,000 points in high school. That's a hell of an honor.
That's crazy, man.
I wonder, was he LBM? Was he a junior when he did that? I would bet. Bet, and that's probably why they knew that this kid was special.
Yeah. Evan saying, I don't know how you can't smash third round Ant right now. I feel similarly. That's what I was doing last night in the rooms. Unfortunately, didn't get a ton in last night because I was on the ice. But yeah. Nez, that's it, man. 12 up, 12 down. Almost took 2 hours. This was a little unique, guys, because this is the first monster slate of the year. We were resetting some of our principles. We were resetting, what some of these rotations could look like. We were talking about not only playable players tonight, but also rotations and what they could look like in the future. Players were excited to watch, but not playing this evening. So we did our full due diligence in the bag here. It's time to draft a few, Nez.
Yeah, let's draft one and do a pick 'em, and then I am going to have to be a father to my son, I think.
Sounds good. All right, we roll the 101. What everybody wanted to see, Nez, was the debate of the 101 here. We talked about it at 2 isolated points on the program there. I think we are both in Team Giannis probable tag camp, right?
Yeah, I'm still Giannis, man. But like, if you wanted to go Wemby, I get it. But Giannis in this iteration of the Bucks against the Wizards, God, he's gonna go ape shit.
Yeah. We're going to take Bobby Portis, our guy, Big Fungi. Actually, if you guys did not see him, he joined the Bash, a.k.a. joined the Bosch with Pete Overzed last week and had a riddle for how to solve his name. It was very good, enjoyable entertainment right there. Oh, here you go. T. Cage, as a high school basketball coach, can agree it's a huge honor to hit 1K. All right.
Dude, it is. Cool. It's a big deal, man.
That's pretty cool.
You got to be a hooper.
Yeah, that wasn't a thing around here. I didn't think we ever played enough games for it. Like, yeah.
Oh.
We go ahead and take Giannis. Respooked snap picks Wemby next. Eggers is in, or sorry, Evans in this draft with us as well. So is Cassius. Some friends and faces. Yeah.
Dude, my kid's getting big, man. He's got these big paws on him. When he was born, he came out of the womb. He was a little guy, but he had these like gangly fingers.
Yeah.
And I starting to kind of grow into him. And you know, we were a little. We've been like taking it easy on food because he was like having trouble like swallowing food for a while. But now we're introducing foods, and I gave him pumpkin yesterday, and oh, dude, it was so funny. He hated it. Took like one bite and was like shivering, like because he hated it so much. So I was like, "You're gonna do one more." I gave him one more bite, and he did this. He took and went like mouth open and just like doubled over in the high chair, just like gagging, like the worst thing he's ever tasted in his little ass life. I thought he would love pumpkin. Dude. I thought we're trying to stack up some wins here. And yeah, no. He likes rice cereal though. Have you ever seen rice cereal?
Yeah, I've seen rice cereal. Yeah.
Yeah, loves it.
My kid only likes his mom.
Skill issue.
In Canada, we give our 1-year-olds lemons, build them up.
He would never forgive me.
Trae Young goes there. John Morant going at 8 in this one. He's got the all clear with no minutes restriction.
Yep.
Yeah. Nez, do we like the Donovan Mitchell stuff? Do we like the Brunson with the cat stuff? Do we like Harden?
I do like Mitchell the most.
Okay.
You can definitely mix and match here, and I do recommend like mixing and matching at this spot here. Like you could like do basically like any of those guys. Like I think even pulling up Jaren Jackson Jr. at some point makes sense. But do you like either of these two?
I think I prefer. I don't know, man. I know if I like look at the projections and build my stuff out alongside the unabated stuff that I know I'll like Harden more, but it does kind of scare me, the narrative.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, like I think it was a good pick. Like I think you just take Harden, but like you can mix and match quite a bit at the 2-3, and you should. I would not just jam the same combos over and over and over with your Giannis and Wemby. Okay. That would be like the biggest mistake you could make, because like there's not that big of a projection difference between like 7 guys there.
Okay. Yeah. No, I respect it. Good take all around there. I love how you said he had big mitts, and my mind went the same way as Miles did. He's like big guard Melo. I was like Rajon Melo, like, Rajon Rondo out here with the big mitts. And then Awin, he goes, get that bro on the piano.
We are. We're gonna hopefully he sticks with it and enjoys it. But yeah, he's gonna be on the keys for sure.
Love it. Yeah, slamming the keys.
Yeah.
Oh, Interesting. Michael saying I want all the Cade tonight. He goes, if Giannis doesn't need to play the fourth quarter tonight, too cute. Take Cade/Wemby ahead of Greek. Ooh,
All right.
that's
There we
spicy.
go. Somebody's got some
That's
stones around here. No, somebody
that's
finally has some player takes.
spicy. That is spicy. I like that. Mobley was a guy that people were talking about pulling up to the corner here with the
Sure.
Giannis teams, and he falls all the way back to 19, just showing you guys the fluidity of the room dynamics. Vooch, who we talked about, sometimes falls to the 6th and was a nice pick in the 6th, is now getting taken at 20. So like tons of moving pieces out here and incredibly flat tiers throughout, guys. 12 game slate. We're dealing with like fractions of projections different between these spots, right?
Yeah. Yep, that's the whole thing.
Nez, I watched a little bit of the ETR stuff yesterday. Let's make this pick first here, and then I'll ask you my question. Jaylen Brown with the Q tag. I like taking Jaylen Brown over Derek White, but we don't necessarily have to take either. I probably wouldn't take Kawhi on my Harden teams. So I'm leaning towards Bam and someone, but if you wanted to do like Flag and Denny Avdia, I'd get excited.
No, I think if you're going to do Bam, I'd go Bam and Jaylen Brown.
Okay. I'm good with it. I think Jaylen Brown will project way better than this if that Q tag was turned to an in tag. I'm not overly concerned about people having like better combos of it than like 5th round alongside Giannis. Like, I don't really care if someone has it with 6th round. Like, it doesn't really matter.
No, the 1v1, 2v2 isn't that crazy.
I have a question for you. So I watched some of the latest on ETR yesterday. Shout out Dink, Gallagher, all the guys, right? Like Winky was doing some content. And then they got Jesse on there, who is Prez JB, I believe. And I thought he did a really good job out there yesterday. But he was talking through something that is primarily a redacted conversation, but spiked my interest for our games. And as he was talking about the rules of combos that he omits when using an optimizer to narrow his band of player pool so that you don't cannibalize ceiling with one another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I was listening to that too.
Yeah. So I was just thinking like through that decision there, like Harden and Kawhi are like two guys I probably wouldn't pair together. You know, like Mobley and Donovan Mitchell, there's overlap at least in their role more so than there's overlap in like Garland and Jared Allen. Like, you know, we always talked about that symbiotic relationship, but I probably wouldn't pair them together on a 12 gamer like this. Is there anyone that you're like really fading in terms of like combo mapping tonight that you wouldn't play together?
Just like the majority of teammates.
Yeah.
Most teammates I would probably steer clear of pairing together on such a large slate where you just need like the most nutted score ever, most likely to win.
True. We get Cooper Flag to come all the way back if we want to click his name. Franz Wagner's here as well. BI, who do you like?
Let's do Franz since we didn't. Let's do Franz.
All right. Sounds good there. You get a little bit of an ADP fall. Nothing contrarian about this team other than potentially the combos. No real big time scrolls out here. But just thinking through range of outcomes, there's definitely right tail ceiling for all these players like Donovan Mitchell without Garland this evening and without Ty Jerome now moving on there, that sort of deal. Harden just given the matchup for sure. Bam missing half his team. Jaylen Brown at a discount because of the Q tag. And then Franz Wagner at the ADP discount that would most likely be paired in the 5th round opposed to the 6th round with your Giannis teams there. Some people getting creative out here. I saw Yabusele go there, a guy who can shoot the 3, space the floor, and play the 5 a little bit. Mark Williams, he's just jamming all the bigs out here. This is kind of fun. Denny Avdia going at 28. That's cool. Sar as a scroll the F down. Both the Kings guys as scroll the F downs that we really liked. We liked the Duran scroll as well. Fun draft. That's a good one.
Yeah. These drafts are a lot of fun, man. It's great to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Nez, I'm going to fire up the unabated pick'em machine here just to take a look if there's anything. I did get some good stuff home last night with the Kaminga stuff and with the assists that fans showed it out on the show. The Sangoon assists play. That one got home for me and a bunch of them. So won a couple pick'ems on my own accord. NBA projections fully not updated yet by the looks of it. So
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. So we'll save the pick'em stuff for later. Nez, I want to rip one more draft there. If you got to jump, you can do your thing.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, I am going to get him out of here.
Sounds good, bro. Everybody say goodbye to Mello as I hop into another draft.
All right. Good luck. See you guys in the lobbies. See you tomorrow, John.
Sounds good. See you, buddy. We roll the 101 again because we're so sick with it. Let's get it right now. TK saying he needs that pick'em triple double with Giddy. That was one that we used to play all back in the day there. Peace out to Nez indeed. LBM, I love the creativity, but if a Yabu Mark Williams team wins on this slate, I'm done for the season. That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, I'm a little scared about the Mark Williams minutes. Not going to lie, like the soft monitoring, the soft cap, that's not something that I'm going to be aping into. I like Mark Williams. I like Mark Williams from a rate standpoint. I'm excited to see what it looks like. They're clearly missing size on that team, and they're clearly missing scoring in the front court or scoring in general alongside Booker. So there's reason to be excited about Mark Williams if he can stay healthy, but that's the evergreen notion with Mark Williams if he can stay healthy. Did not take a ton of him in the double dribble stuff there. Actually, we can look at that. I ended up getting 30 double dribbles in, so we can take a look at that shortly. I'm going to keep rolling with this Giannis probable tag at the 101. There is something to be noted that you do have really clean swaps on a 12-gamer if the Giannis probable tag ever turned into a Q tag or ever turned into a out tag. Bobby Portis is free right now. I mean, you're probably not going to win a slate with first-round Bobby Portis, but he's going to project like the 22 or 18th best player on the slate. So, something to think about is just how your swap dynamic works. Yeah. Anything else we want to hit on there? I think we did a pretty good job with the macros of the slate there, guys. We got 370 of us hanging out here, 200 on the X side, 160 hanging out on the YouTube side. Can you guys please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell? We're here every single day, 2 p.m. Eastern, bringing you Underdog adjacent content. Giannis, Giddy, Cade, triple doubles, anyone? I mean, triple doubles are a lot, and you need a lot of minutes, and you need those are some good guys to target for them potentially. Trae Young goes there. See what Reed does here. John Morant would be the next up in terms of ADP. I want to get kind of funky, as Nez said, with this band of projection here of like, hey, trying to find some ceiling guys in this area to go alongside my Giannis teams. What else happened in this one? Embiid going at 6. Yeah, Ja goes there. So pretty chalky, just, kind of all in line with ADP right now. We're going to be the flip the board guys. I think Donovan Mitchell's fine tonight. I'm not as bullish as Nez is on that one. I'm a little bit out on the Orlando spot as well. I say we full-fledged flip the board here. We take Maxey and we take Jaren Jackson Jr. Maxey plays 36 minutes tonight. Embiid only plays, 25 to 28 and isn't 100% full. That game turns into a track meet despite good defense on the Boston side. They do like to give up some catch and shoot or some three-pointers. Maxey trades threes with them. We've seen the ceiling from Maxey before. And then Jaren Jackson Jr. with the absence of I always screw up that word, like it's like abscess versus like absence. But yeah, without the bigs there, with no Edie, What are we missing again on the Memphis side tonight? We're missing Brandon Clark. We're missing Zach Edey. We're missing backup handling in Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. And then you got Vince Williams missing as well. So, yeah, it could just be Jaren Jackson Jr. at home night in a big way there. So we flip the board. We scroll. Let's get it going. Juice McCaffrey asking earlier in the program, we talked a little bit about a potential. Let me work on it. The powers that be. Let me make sure we have some conversations behind closed doors here. I'm bullish. I'm bullish that there is potential for another dog bowl this year here. We just got a nice bullish alert note coming through here on unabated team side. A note on Cooper Flagg expected to start at the point guard. So something that we talked about earlier when we were doing the team by team was the fact that, hey, Cooper Flagg could play the one, and he literally has the ball dominant handling role instead of why am I blanking on D'Angelo Russell? That was something they talked about in the preseason. It was something that Jason Kidd flirted with and teased about a week ago. If you guys were paying attention to some of the dress rehearsal stuff there. So, yeah, man, kind of bullish Cooper Flagg this evening at his current ADP. He went undrafted in our previous draft there. But, yeah, you get Cooper Flagg here with a lead handling role. That could be pretty exciting. He had some stock upside in college. Anytime you could play the 101. That's not news. Okay, Eggers. We get it. Ball. We get it, bro. Yeah, Jared Allen has a scroll the F down. Absolutely in play. I mean, it's always hard on a night-to-night basis to pick out the matchup that you like most of the Cavs there. Probably would have liked it a little bit more if we had Cat ruled out for sure. But, yeah. We do have the Cat decision here. We do have the Jalen Johnson decision. I think they're both fine picks here. There's a couple ceiling potential that I like here, and it'll open up the door for us to scroll. Let's flip the board again and take Cooper Flagg here at the point, and then take Denny Avdia, who's just an absolute fantasy point per minute monster when he plays full, and we do like that game environment decently this evening. Could also have a little bit more handling role, although we think it's going to go Giroux's way and Shaden Sharp's way, more so than it'll go Denny Avdia's way. But just knowing that there's no Scoot Henderson this evening, no Dame Lillard, and no Time Lord, a.k.a. Robert Williams III, that they could be a little more condensed than usual. And those are the spots where Denny Avdia shines. Swish, quick thoughts on 10-mans differing from 6-mans in terms of general strategy. Yeah, floor matters more and contingent value slaps harder in the 10-mans. So, like, you can really break a slate with, like, a Bobby Portis in a 10-man. It's a little harder to break a 12-game slate with a Bobby Portis in this if you got the probable tag turned to an out tag. So, like, the contingent value goes further in the 10-mans, but also floor matters more in terms of, like, not every part of your roster has to hit right tail ceiling outcome. You actually need, like, projectable minutes in the middle, or, like, Bam would be a good example. Like, third round Bam plays way better in that than he does in the 6 persons, stuff like that. Yeah. Curated Sane has to make the DB this year. Man, me too, man. Me too. I'll tell you guys, honestly, the NFL one, I've yet to get over 25 entries in a given week. And I do really think my lack of volume is hurting me, even though I do, play it every single week. But yeah, just like, man, between the show, some of the stuff we're doing behind the scenes, some of the stuff I'm dealing with and doing in real life, like, it's been really hard for me to get like 150 without full autoing in the dog bowls in this year. But yes, I would love to be a participant. I'm very much looking forward to the dog bowl just in general. I think it's a fantastic time. I think it is worth chasing. I'm a huge proponent of what Underdog is doing. I have had a look at the back end itinerary and what we are doing, and it's fucking top shelf. It is top notch. I'm no jokes. Dog Bowl this year is going to be electric, and yeah, me hopes we're going to do the same thing with NBA this year. I like DeMar DeRozan here as like kind of like a floor ceiling combo play that's also going to be under owned. I do also really like Jalen Duren there in the Vooch matchup as like, you know, floor ceiling combo in terms of stock potential and rebounding potential against Vooch. I do think that's a strong matchup tonight for Jalen Duren as a scroll there. I think Cam Thomas is fine there too. If you think he's lead handling, going to attack the basket, and he's going to score a bunch in what looks like the slop it up match of the evening. Trey Murphy is a great scroll, just playing the Zion narrative, but from the other side. He also has big time stock potential. Dyson Daniels, if you want to play the highest total on the slate and probably fastest game environment with a stock ceiling, although a lot more mouths to feed in that one than the Trey Murphy decision there. Sar could be okay, but probably a little thin for me on this slate. I'm excited to see the Miles Turner stuff. We talked about that. Pool party. I mean, the pool party isn't canceled until it's canceled. So pool party could just go get his on any given night. Peyton Pritchard, probably not scrolling to it unless we get no JB. I think I might swap to Peyton Pritchard tonight for my JB teams for the contrarian leverage angle and just the fact that like we know he can fill it up from three if there's a little bit of pace to that ball game. All right, guys, that's about all I got for you guys. That was a fun show. Still 300 and whatever of us. I am going to go check out the unabated projections in about 15 minutes time. I'm going to walk this dog, and then I'm going to be in the draft lobbies alongside you for the remainder of the day. So best of luck chasing that 15K in the main prize pool this evening. Best of luck in the 10-mans as well. I will see you in the pick and roll $100 streets as well. Good luck this evening. We are back tomorrow for the Membies only. Paywall tomorrow for the Membies only. We're going to do Primetime Palooza and the NBA slate tomorrow. Much shorter NBA slate. The Tuesdays and Thursdays just being like island 2 gamers, nationally televised. So we'll cover both the nationally televised events tomorrow. The 2-game NBA, which I believe is Oklahoma City at Indiana, the Pacers. So we'll have Oklahoma City's first game to break down and talk about, and then we'll talk about the Pacers' first game, we'll talk about the Pacers and what we think their first game, and then what we know from Oklahoma City from their first game. And then the same dynamic on the second game. I believe it's Denver at Golden State. So we could talk about how they ran, 11, 12 deep last night, and we'll break that all down, and then what we expect from Denver this season. So fun slate there. Then we will do the Primetime Palooza for the NFL stuff, and then off and on the clock on Friday. Yeah. Best of luck this evening. Fun show, guys. We'll see you in the draft lobbies. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.